So in this video you will learn how to create this game that has some platforms that move, that when you jump on top of them you can just have some camera shake, you can jump, and then you can go to the next one. And I lost again. I lose a lot of times in this video. So you can also play here with pause. You can press P to pause the game, and we will make everything from scratch, from modeling the platform to UV, using some new techniques to do the blockouts. So you will learn a lot. As a beginner, this can be a great introduction to Unreal Engine to create your first game. So let's start. So let's start creating our level. If you're really new to Unreal, this should be the first thing you see when you open Unreal Engine 5. For our case, we're going to create a new level. So there are a few things I want to go first if you're really new to the engine, so we can go into some basic subjects. If you are new to Unreal, stay with me. I will show you the basics, and if you are a little bit more advanced, feel free to skip this part. So the first thing is that in the file options, we have the options to create a new level. So we will create a new level here, and I have a bunch of presets. I want to choose the time of day, okay? And I just click create. Now, when I want to save this level by pressing Ctrl S, you will see that a new window appears. This is basically my content browser. My content browser is the folder structure for my project, and I will have all my assets here, including my levels. So here in content, I will right click and create a new folder called maps. And here I will call my map, for example, level 1. And then just click save. Now that I'm here, you will see that I have a big window here. This is my viewport. It's essentially a representation of how the game will look like. Okay, at the right, I have some properties here, which we will take a look at later. I will have the details and the world settings, and I have my outliner here, which are the objects of the level. For example, if I click this object, you will see that the outliner previews the SM matte preview mesh here. If I click another actor, you will see that it's highlighting another actor here. So you can either use the outliner or choose objects here. Now let's see how we can navigate in Unreal. Navigating in Unreal is a little bit different from other 3D software. The first thing is that you need to right click, and with WASD you can just walk around just like this, just like you're playing a game. With Q you can go down, and with E you can go up. Everything just by pressing the right mouse button. You need to hold it. And of course, if you want to focus on objects, for example, I want to focus on this floor, I will hit F. And now with Alt and left click, I can rotate around. Okay. And if I hold Alt and right click, I can zoom in and out. And if I don't hold anything with a keyboard and I just press the left mouse, I can just move around like a spaceship that is flying around the level. And that's pretty much it. So let's take a look at some of the basic options here. First, you have the grid and, well, the selection mode. As you can see, I have a gizmo here with up Z, Y, and X, which allows me to move this into different directions. And I can also click here to rotate this or scale this up or down. Okay, so instead of just clicking here, I can just press W, E, or R, and I can toggle between these different modes. Okay, the next one is the absolute world position and the local space. You don't really need that for now, so let's move on. Next is the snapping. As you can see, I can snap my grid by 10 centimeters. I can choose, for example, 500, and you will see that my snapping will be every 500 units, which in the case of Unreal, if centimeters, I have the rotate rotate function. Okay, I can either rotate by 10 or change this, for example, 5 to be more precise. Okay, and I can scale this and change the scale, for example, 1, and I can scale this by only 1, and that's pretty much it. If I can go back to 10 here, I can go back to 10 here, and if you don't want any snapping, just click here, and then you will be able to move the objects. Now, the last thing I want to show you, and we will finish this navigation section just by showing you how you can use the different perspective modes. You have the perspective, you have the top here, you can see from other angles, you have different views from the camera. And let's go back to perspective. The other thing you can choose is basically different modes, and you can see the hotkeys here. So unlit, wireframe, and detail lining. Those are all different modes that can help you, and there are a lot of different modes here, but the most important ones are the unlit, maybe the wireframe and the lead mode. That's why they have the hotkeys. And here is just to check like different actors. For example, you don't want to see static meshes, then you just need to click here. But let's use defaults for now. Okay. So with that in place, let's import our character so we can start playing our game. Okay? Okay, so now that we know how to navigate in Unreal, let's import our character so we can start playing our game. Let's go to content browser, then go add, and here I can check add feature or content pack. In this case, I will choose this option. Okay, and I will choose a third person mode so I can have my third person character. Click add project. Okay, and just like this, I have my third person character here, and to play with this, I need to go to world settings, and if you don't have it, just go to window and then check for world settings, and it will appear here. And in the game mode, I need to choose my third person game mode. Otherwise, if I just click play here, you will see that I have a default pawn that I can just move around with WSAD. Okay, but if I choose the third person game mode and I hit play, then I can just play with my character. And you see that this character in Unreal Engine 5 has some nice blendings. It can jump, it can run, it can walk a little bit, and basically has the basic functions. I can move the camera around with the mouse, or if you're using a gamepad, you can also use a gamepad. So just with this, we can start creating our level. Okay, so hit escape or this red button to stop the simulation. Here, this will simulate how your game will look like from the very beginning. And the first thing I want to do is to delete some assets. I just going to click here and press the delete key, and then click here and delete this part. And I'm going to model something. So in order to model in Unreal, if you want to create some geometry, you can just go to here and go to modeling. And here you will have a bunch of options you can use to model inside Unreal. In my case, I'm going to model a box here. So if you want to learn more about modeling tools, we have a complete tutorial on how to model. I will put a link in the description. But for now, we will keep the basics. So just click the box here, and just by clicking here, you will be able to model something. So what I want to do is to create a platform that my character can just go and walk. So let's create it, and let's right click and play from here. And this platform is a little bit hard, because it's very small. If we play our game, then it will be very hard for us to land into the right target. If you want to make your game harder, just make your platform smaller. So in my case, that's not what I want to do. So let's go to modeling mode, and we will go to um, here, poly edit, and we will move the faces of the cube just by holding there. Okay, and here I can just move something like this, and here I can move here, maybe just like that. Okay, let's accept, and let's play again. So this size looks more acceptable, so that's great. We're gonna use it. Now, the problem with this is that the pivot point is here, and I really don't want that. So what I want to do is change the pivot point inside Unreal. I will just go to transform, and then pivot, and then center the pivot, just like this, okay? And click accept, and that's it. Now our pivot, it's on the center. Now, I can keep modeling this to have something nice. For example, I can go here and maybe, for example, here, go to inset, like that, and then go to extrude this part, just like this. And then you can just maybe use this part to model something like that. And that's it. Okay, great. So now we have our platform. The next thing we're going to do is to move this platform. So play from here, and we have our platform here, and we need to use this platform in our blueprint so it can move. Okay, so let's do that. So let's create our first blueprint. So what it basically is, it's a class that you can create to have different functionalities. In our case, we just want to create our platform. So let's go to content browser, and let's create a new folder called my platform game, like that. And let's create a new blueprint class here. Okay, just right click here and then create asset, create blueprint class. Here you have some different blueprints to choose, different classes. In my case, I just want to choose an actor. So click here, and we will call this BP. That stands for blueprint, and then platform, just like that. And then just save everything. And then I will double click here. If you are really new to blueprints, I highly recommend you to check our complete intro to blueprints, which is over 3 hours that will take you from the very beginning until you become really good with it. So I will put a link in the description too, so you can take a look at. But we will keep it simple for now. Blueprints, if you're new and you're intimidated, this is just the visual representation of your blueprints. Here you will see your components. In the left you have your components, and in the right you have the properties. Then in these tabs you have different graphs, which we will use later to add behavior. So the first thing I just want to do is to create a platform. So I will just click here, and I can just create a static mesh. I can also create a cube if I want. If I create a cube here, you will see that I have a cube here. I can actually change this. For example, I can use this one like this, or I can use this one. I can just put anything. So in my case, what I'm going to do is to put our platform. So let's compile first to see how it looks like. So let's go to our content browser, and in my platform game, I'm just going to drag our platform here. And now we're using our blueprint. Let's play from here, and you will see that it doesn't have any functionality yet because we haven't told the blueprint what to do. But what I want to do first is to use this platform that I created so that it replaces this cube. So if I go here, and in the right you will see a bunch of properties such as the location, the scale, and what this static mesh is composed of. And here you will see, if you click here, you will see that you have the static mesh. You click here, you will find it in the content browser. So let's change this name to SM platform. SM stands for static mesh. Okay. Now we will go to our blueprint and we will type here platform, and let's change the material here to use the original one, and let's compile. And now that I have this, now it looks like it's the same, but this one is a blueprint, and this one is a static mesh. So I don't really need this one anymore unless I want to do changes. For example, if I want to model something, let's go to our modeling and let's go here to our poly edit here, and then go here and inset like this, and then we will choose these parts here, that we can just extrude a little bit this. Okay, and just like that we have changed our mesh. If we click accept, this will also change because this one is referenced in our blueprint. So now we have our platform. We can put this one here, and now here, let's go back here, play from here, and you will see that I have my blueprint here. Great. Now what we want to do is to add some movement to this blueprint. So let's do that next. Okay, so let's add some functionality to this blueprint. So if we play here, what I want to do is to make this blueprint just move. Basically move forever until it reaches to a certain point and then come back. So how we're gonna do this is we're going to go to our blueprint here in our viewport, and what we're gonna add, it's a component. You can add different components to your blueprints, and I'm gonna add a component that is basically a move component. So let's click add and then type move, and you will see that I have different movement options. I will choose interp to movement, and just like this we add another component to our mesh. Okay, so by doing that we have a bunch of options. When we click here, we have the details panel, we have the duration of our movement, and we have the control points, and we have the behavior type. Okay, so let's add control point. The first one, it's from 0, 0, 0, okay, and this will be my relative position. And the second one is going to be the position that my platform will end. In my case, I'm going to choose, for example, the y-axis or the x-axis. So let's just choose x-axis and let's put 300 here. Okay, so let's play our game to see how it feels like. And you will see that it moved. Let's play again. It was a little bit fast, so play from here. And you see that it moved and it stayed there. So in order to make it move and come back, we just need to change the behavior type to one shot to ping pong. Okay, and just by doing that, I can just play from here. And when it reaches to certain point, it will come back again, reach to the other point, and it will come back again to the same position. Okay, and just by doing that, we have our platform. Now we can change the duration of this platform. For example, if I put something like 0.1, it means the whole movement needs to last 0.1 seconds, and this will make it really fast. So if I go here, you will see that my platform moved super fast. And at the same time, if I put something like 3 seconds, it will move very slow, just like this. So depending if you want to make your game hard or easy, you can change the settings of this movement. Now, what we're gonna do next is to change the control points here. Because if I duplicate this platform, for example, I put it here, maybe I want this platform to move into another direction. So what we're gonna do that now is change the position where we want our platform to be inside Unreal. So we don't need to come back here and change the position and duplicate our assets or anything like that. Okay, so now that we have our platform, we need to add some functionality so that we can decide where we want our platforms to be. So in order to open our blueprint, if you don't remember what it is, you can just click here and then open Blueprint Editor. And here in my viewport, instead of using the viewport, I'm going to use the construction script. Okay, so what I want to modify is this interp to movement here. And I want to change the variables that are here, but this time I want to change them here. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to drag this. And by dragging this, I'm already having access to all the properties of this class. So here you will see that it has control points here. So what I can do is type get control points. Okay, and this will get me the control points that I have. Okay, and I can also do set control points, which is exactly what we want. We want to set the control points here. Now we will connect this node to this one, and this is an execution node. This means that the white nodes will first, this thing will run, and then this thing will run. Okay, so the next thing is to drag the control points, and let's just say get, let's just type array, because this is an array, and we will make an array. Okay, and we will add 2 points. We will drag this, and notice that how Unreal helps me to show me the options that are only relevant to this node. Just by clicking this context sensitive, I can only have access to the ones that are, relatable to the node I'm using, so that I don't need to search a library of thousands of functions. So I can just click here and then interp control point, just drag this node and then make interp control point. And just by doing this, we're creating a point here, just like we're doing here in our viewport here. If you see, our control points here is 0, 0, 0, and then we need another one. So what we need to do is to go to our construction and then drag again here and then make another one. But this time we are going to control the control point. So let's say we want to move on 300 on z-axis. So let's compile this and let's save this to see if it works. And look at this. Now this overrides my original default settings, and I can change the values of this platform. So what if I wanted to control this inside the editor? Because currently both of them move in the same direction. They have the same values. I can just drag this and then promote to variable. And just by doing this, I have a variable here in the left, which I can control. Now, if I go here, I won't be able to see it. And the reason is this variable is not public. This variable is private for now. So in order to make it public, I just need to click here. So there is an eye here. And if you see the eyelash, the eye close is private. If you see the eye is open. So now I can modify this. For example, this one can be like 500 and 300. And this one can be like in Y 300. And then I can have something like this that move diagonally. Okay. And I can just create different ones that have different values. Now, this method, it's great, but we can make it a little bit better by using splines, okay? So we're gonna do that next. So in order to add the spline, we first need to go to our blueprint, and here in our viewport, you will add and then look for spline. You don't want the spline mesh, you want just the spline. And this spline should be below the cube, okay? Let's call this cube like as a platform, sorry. Because if you move this, you check this, I have a little spline here. If you move the platform, the spline will move with you. Otherwise, the spline will just stay there, okay? The hierarchy is very important. So now that we have our points, we just need to go to our construction script, okay? And here in a spline, we can get a spline, and we can look for something, that location at the spline point, okay? And my index will be 1. And the reason is 1 is because this spline can have multiple index. The first one is the 0. This is the 0. And then this is the 1. So if I move this, for example, I move it here, or I move it here, I'm changing this position, but this one stay the same. So what I'm going to do here is to grab the index 1, and instead of using this one, I'm just going to drag this, okay? And I don't really need the position control anymore. So let's compile and let's see. Okay, now our spline is working, and this one's moved a little bit, and the reason is the spline point, it's very small, so we can just drag it like this. And just by doing this, we have control over where you want your platform to be. Just like that, okay? Great. Okay, so now what I want to do is to expose the duration that this platform has, because it's very slow. And some of them, I want them to be faster, some of them slower. So in order to do that, I just need to grab the interp to movement. And if you see the properties, you have this duration, and you can put set duration. Okay, this will modify the duration, and then you go here, and now you can just put a variable here. You can promote to variable, which is called duration, and just if you cannot see the properties, you need to compile. So the duration will be 3 by default. Okay, so let's compile and check if this works. And I don't see it because this is not public. So you can just go here. Okay. And just by doing that, I can change the duration. For example, if I want this to be really fast, I can just put 0.2. If I want this one to be super slow, I can just put 10. And let me move this one a little bit here. So let's take a look. This one is super fast, and this one is super slow. All right. So just by doing this, we can control the duration. Okay, so now that we have our platforms, let's create a small level that we can use so that we can have a game. Okay, so let's remove these blueprints. I will keep this one. We'll just put the duration for 1 maybe. And this one I'm going to keep it here, just in case I want to modify it. So what I'm going to do is rotate this. Okay, I'm gonna put my snapping on here so I can rotate in 10 degrees each snap, and I will put this position here, just like this. And then I'm going to put another one here. For example, this one. Okay. And this one will be a little bit faster to increase the difficulty. And then we're going to put another one here, like that. This one will be even a little bit faster. Maybe that's too fast, but we will see. So let's try it out. So this one, I'm going to put it here. Let's drag the spline. Okay, and also the duration can change. Like for example, this one can be a little bit longer. Okay, and also this one can be going up and down. So I can just drag the spline here, just like that. Okay, let's try. This is the fun part of making games. Okay, so let's start. Okay, got this one. Okay, I'm going to jump. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, okay, it's too fast. So we need to tweak the difficulty. Let's multiply everything by 2. And just by doing this, I can just multiply using this key and then 2, and I can just put 2. Now, of course, I can type it, but if I really wanted to make it double, I can just multiply by 2. And that's it. So let's try our new difficulty. That was pretty much like Dark Souls. Okay. Okay. So I'm moving into the speed of this one. So not really what I want. Okay. It's too hard. Let's try one more time. Either that or I'm too bad. Okay. Oh. Okay. After 100 tries, here it is. Oh, okay, this is very, very hard. Oh, okay, I got it. I got it. So let's just say after I'm in this one, I want to have the objective here. Okay, so let's just put something like a small level for us to play. So in order to do this, I'm going to show you a new way in Unreal Engine 5 to prototype your levels. And that is the modeling tools. You can go here to modeling. And if you click, do not click anywhere. Make sure you don't click on anything, otherwise you will modify the mesh. And what you want to do is to click on this one and cube grid. Okay, and you will see that I have a grid here. Now, I can just put like the walls of my mesh. For example, I can just drag all this. And if you see here, I have push with Q and pull with E. Okay, and what I can do is just press E and it will push, or Q and it will pull. I can also press Shift Q to go different levels, or Shift E and then press Q again to go up and down, just like that. Okay, you can slide forward with Shift Q and slide back with Shift E. Okay, so what I want to do is to just modify this. Let's go to Shift E and then remove this one. Maybe this one we can just make it taller, just like this. And you can also select these parts, for example, and you can put something like this. And what I will do is to put our objective here, not so high. Here it is. And maybe I can just make this one a little bit bigger, just like this. Just by choosing all this, I can just pressing E. I can create my mesh, and just by doing that, I can keep creating, for example, here. And to make sure the player don't go away, let's just put this one here. And great. So this is my first level. Now, what I want to do, click complete here, and this will have a new, we will have a new mesh here, which we can move actually if you want. But now we have something to play with, and that's great. So what we're gonna do now is to put some materials here. And let's do that. Let's go to our content browser. And here I will add content, okay? Feature or content pack, and I will go to content and I will click the starter content, okay? And just by doing that, I'm adding new content here so that I can modify my map. So the first thing I want to do is to add some materials here. So let's go to my starter content folder, and here in materials, let's just put something like this, for example, or maybe a brick. Okay, let's just keep the checkerboard, or let's just keep the checkerboard for now in all the areas. And this one, because it's a gameplay element, I wanted to have a different material. So I want to put something like metal, for example, here. Okay, and you see I have the metal, but the problem is these ones are not really changing, and the reason is we are only modifying this instance. If we double click this, you will open the static mesh editor, which moves exactly like, you know, the viewport. And here we can change the material. For example, we can, I don't know, let's try to put maybe some wood, will be nice. Okay, let's put some wood, and great. Okay, now all of them has wood. Let's close this because this requires a lot of performance to open a new window, another viewport. So as you can see here, I have some problems with my UVs. So what I'm gonna do is to change them. By keeping in the modeling tools mode, I will go to UVs here, and I will go to project, and here I will put a box. And just by doing that, I'm already projecting the UVs. If you want to take a look how they look like, you can change the material to checkerboard, and you can see this one is a little bit stretched. So what I can do is, sorry, let's do it again. Let's move this one like this. Okay. Okay. And this one like this. Great. And just by doing that, let's check our original one, how it looks like. Looks nice and clean. So let's accept this. And now everything has nice UVs. So what I want to do is to put some materials here too. I'm going to put this one also. So if you want to find it, just go here and then go to this one. And there you go. And now we have our material. So let's keep decorating our level. What I want to put is some water here. So it's very easy. I'm just going to my modeling, and here I will put a rectangle, and I put it here. Okay, and then I will make this rectangle super big, like 100, something like that, maybe 1000. Okay, and I'm gonna put it down just like this. Okay, and I'm going to put some water. So let's try it. Let's put the water ocean here. You see that because of my scale of this one is so big, my ocean is like stretching out. So we need to change the UVs. Let's go here. I'm gonna show you a new thing. Go to UVs here in modeling mode, and here you can just put layout and then transform. Okay, and here in transform you can put something like 10, 20, 50, 100, and looks like this size is good enough. I'm try 150 or maybe 500. Okay, that's much better. 250. Okay, let's just keep it like that, or maybe 1000. That's too much. Okay, 500. 500 looks like a good number. Let's click accept, and now our UVs are matching our material. And another thing is that this one is a little bit like it's floating, and I don't want that. So what I want to do, one is move everything here move a little bit higher. Okay, and this one I'm going to modify it by going to my modeling and then go to my cube grid. Let's see where I can find it. There we go, polymode cube grid, and here I can just go here and just press E several times. I can do the same here. E. And I can do the same here. Oh, only this part. And if you want, you can just press E here. There you go. It's like the water is coming from here. And I don't know, this one is like this. This one is like this, just to make it a little bit more interesting. And this one is like this, okay? It's like the main objective. And let's remove this one. Just like that. And the reason I want to put this objective like this is because I want to tell the player that this place is important. So, okay, we're almost finishing with our blockout. I just want to change the material of this, maybe some concrete. Okay, so the concrete is very small and I don't want that. So what we need to do is to go here to our UVs, just like that, and then go to layout and put 0.1 maybe. Okay, and looks like it's stretching. So instead of doing that, let's just keep it like that and then go to unwrap. Not unwrap, go to project and let's go to box and let's put the checkerboard. We can put a auto fit align, and here we can just modify this. Example, this can make it like that, more square, just like that. Okay, looks okay. Let's check the original one. Okay, and now we can change the scale, for example, like 5 by 5 or 8 by 8. There you go, much better. Okay, so now we can just start from here. We have our level. Okay, I'm still really bad at it. Okay, so now that we have our level, let's try to add some nice things like camera shake and this kind of stuff. Okay. Okay, it's time to add some fun stuff to our game development. Okay, so what we're gonna do is to create a trigger. The trigger will make this platform fall. Okay, so we have just some seconds until the platform falls. And the way we're going to do this is just go to here to my blueprint. And here in my viewport, first I need to create a trigger box. The trigger box will be activated when the player sits in. So let's add and then type box and then box collision. And just by doing this, if I can move it around just like that, okay? I can just put it in position. And just like that, we have our trigger box, okay? And the trigger box will follow this one. Because if this platform moves, also my trigger box will move. And I will rename this my trigger box. All right. So now that we have our trigger box, we just need to go to trigger it. So in the properties panel in the right, we can just go to on component hit or on component begin overlap, and you have a bunch of events you can use. I will put on component begin overlap. Okay, and what I will put is I will drag my platform. Okay, and then I will put set physics, set simulate physics. Okay, and I will put it on. Okay, this will simulate physics and it will be affected by gravity and all this stuff. So let's play from here. Oh, damn it. I still really bad at this. Okay, here I go. And now it's there. Now it doesn't collide because this one is very the reason this doesn't work is because the collisions of this one are complex. And you can see this by reading the log that it has a complex simple collision, which you don't want that. Complex collisions are really heavy. So what you're gonna do is to go here to your platform, and if you type collision, you will see complex collision as simple. This is by default if we use a modeling tool, so we'll just put project default. And now we don't have any collision. But what we can do is to go to collision and auto convex collision, and you will see this one. I can just put this one. Okay. And just by doing that, we can try it again. If I jump on it, there you go. Now it falls. Now, the problem with this is that this falls really fast. So I need some time until I can, you know, properly escape and you know, just not fall just because of it. So I will just drag here and put a delay. And just by doing that, I can put a delay of any seconds. For example, I can put like, I don't know, 3 seconds just to try it out. And let's play again. And this one I will put a little bit higher because it's a little bit hard for me to jump there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, jump. And this one fall. And that's it. And this will work for all your meshes here. As you can see, I touch all of them, so they fall. That's okay. So what we want to add now is a sign so the player knows that, hey, this thing is falling, and you know, you need to jump fast. So we're going to add some camera shake. So in order to create our camera shake, we just need to create a new blueprint. So we'll go to our content browser, go to my platform game where I save everything, and this time I'm going to create a new blueprint, but I won't choose the actor. If you see here, I have a bunch of actors I can choose, and I can type also what I want to find. So I can type camera, and I can put camera shake, and you will see that I have a default camera shake base. I'm going to type this, and I will call it BP camera shake player. Okay, and let's save it. And just by doing that, now I have my blueprint, but this time my properties are here. I don't have a viewport because this class doesn't need a viewport. So here I can expand my properties, and I can basically multiply the frequency and the amplitude. The amplitude will tell me how heavy my camera shake is. Let's say please multiply by 5, by 5. Okay, and everything, let's put 5. And the frequency will tell me how fast my camera shake will be. Okay, I can also change the duration, for example, like 2 seconds, something like that. We can try it out. And in order to try our camera shake, we need to put a trigger box. So here I will put my camera shake. So you can put play camera shake, play world camera shake. Just like this, you can see that Unreal knows that I want to play a camera shake, and I can just click here, play camera shake, and we need to put you know, where we want our earthquake to be. You know, it's like an earthquake. So we can either drag this actor and get the location, but I'm going to show you something different, and we will get a get player pound. Okay, and what the pound is a representation of the player in the world. So by doing this, I can put get location, get actor location, and this will give me the location where my player is, and I can just put it here. Now the next thing I can do is to change the inner radius, something like 200, and maybe outer radius like 1000. And that's it. So let's save everything and play from here, and let's see if it works. Okay, it works. Oh, I did it. Okay, there you go. I successfully complete my own game. Now, this one is a little bit heavy, so I'm going to change the amplitude multiplier, something like half maybe, to make it a little bit more subtle, or maybe even more subtle, like 1.8, just like that. And another thing I want to do is to change the duration, maybe something like 3, okay? And here also lasts 3 seconds, so it makes sense that my camera shake also lasts for 3 seconds. So let's go back here and let's try it. Okay, it's shaking. Oh, I didn't make it. Okay, let's try it again. One more time. Okay, one more time. Let's go. 1, it's shaking. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, it's shaking again. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I'm bad at my own game. So just by doing that, we can add more functionality to our games. There is one thing I want to add, and that is the pause menu. So it is very simple. In order to do that, we're just going here to our content browser, and let's create a widget. In my platform game, let's create, instead of using a blueprint, we will go scroll down until we see user interface, and we will check widget blueprint. And you have a bunch of classes you can use to make your game. In my case, I will use the user widget, and I will call it widget. Yeah, widget pause. Okay, so just by doing that, I can save. And here, what I need to do is create a canvas panel. I will just choose canvas, and this will allow me to have my full screen here. Okay, and then I'm going to put a text. So let's put a text here. There you go, text. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay, and size to content here. Sorry if I went too fast. So basically, this is the text block. Okay, I can add some text, and here you have the properties. Okay, the anchor, it's basically if you resize your game, you want it to attach to some of the components here, like to the right, or maybe to the full screen, so it can stay in the same place, which is what I want. So I'm going to change the size, well, the type of the letter here. I can change this, instead of bold, I can put light, so it can look more elegant. And I can also change the text to something like pause. Okay, and I can move this one here, just like that. And there you go, we have our pause menu. Okay, so let's add it to the world to see how it looks like. Okay, so in order to do that, we need to go to our level blueprint, which is something new you haven't seen. The level blueprint, it's a blueprint specifically for this level we are creating. In comparison to other blueprints, the level blueprint only works in this level. If we want to add the same functionality in another level, we cannot just replicate the same. We will need to do it again. So in order to add our widget in our event begin play, you can put create widget, and here I can choose my class. I can put my widget pause here. Okay, and if I do this and I play, nothing will happen because I haven't added to the viewport. All the widgets need to be added to the viewport. So what I can do is go here and add to viewport. Okay, and let's compile and play, and you will see that I have my pause menu here. Now, there are a lot of things that are wrong here. One is I'm not making the pause. Okay, and 2 is just popping out when I play the game, which is what I don't want. So what we will do instead is to put a key by tapping keyboard 2, and just by pressing 2, I can add to the viewport. So instead of doing this, I will promote to variable here, so I can create my widget. This will be my pause widget 2. I had one I create before. I can just put pause widget here. Okay. So now that I have this, I can just go here and drag this here, get pause widget, and then add to viewport. Okay. Instead of pressing 2, let's press keyboard P, just like that. Okay. And let's press this. And just by doing that, now we play the game. And if we press P, we have the pause. There are a couple of problems here. One, I cannot unpause the game, and 2, it's not pausing. So every time I'm pressing P, I'm adding this to the viewport, which is what I don't want. So in order to fix this, we need a flip-flop. So just by doing that, drag here, and then create flip-flop. Okay. And what it does is, first, it's going to execute this, and second is going to execute this one. So very easy, just remove from parent, and this will be my B1. And let's play again. P, pause, P again, P, 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 P. Okay, so now I have my pause menu, but the problem is my game doesn't pause. So I can just put it here. Pause game, set game pause to, and I can just put it true. And then here, set game pause, and I can put it false. Okay, so I can just play here. And if I press P, my game will pause. Okay. And if I press P again, I cannot unpause it. And the reason is I'm already paused. I'm not allowed to press any key. So in order to fix this, we just need to check here. Then execute when paused. Here, if you press the P and then go to the properties, here you can check execute when paused. And now our pause is working perfectly. You can use P, pause, P, 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 and it works perfectly. Now, there is one last thing I want to add to my widget because my pause is a little lame. So I want to make it a little bit prettier. So here, I will go to type here in the palette, background, blur. And I will put it here. Okay. And now I will make the anchor of this one. Let's just put the anchor like this. Okay. And now the offset I need to put to 0 and 0. And this will allow me to fill the entire canvas. And here in my background blur, I have a property that is called blur strength. I can put something like 10. And you will see that everything blurs. So if I play the game, I can press P and my game looks nicer. It looks blurry, but the problem is the text is also blur. So I just need to change the position. So this is my pause menu, and this is like layers. So to explain this better, this will be my background, and then my text will be here on top of it. Right now, the text is in the same layer of the background. That's why it's getting blurred. So I need to move this one up, and I can do that by typing here. I go to the pause menu, I go to the details, I press C, and my C order, I will just press 1. And just by doing that, I can just play my game. Let's press F11 to make it big, and then P. And now my pause menu is not getting blurred. P again, P, and great. So now I can just, okay, fall again. But anyway, you can press P, and this is how you can pause your game. So thank you so much for watching. We'll learn a lot of things like blueprints, components, how to modify your blueprints, how to add materials, how to do UVs, how to model inside Unreal, and how to add our pause menu, and how to add like camera shake. We've done a lot of things. So if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and let us know in the comment which kind of video you would like to watch next. If you enjoyed this beginner series, just let us know and we may continue to do so. And remember that if you check our website, unfgames.com, you can check a lot of free stuff and a lot of tutorials we have in our channel. So make sure to subscribe too, alright? So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.